the teachers' unions are by far the most powerful force in American education. They shape the schools from the bottom up through collective bargaining, and they shape the schools from the top down through the political process, where they exercise their power mainly to block. The fact is that as long as the unions remain powerful, we will never have effective schools in this country. And so, the only solution is to drastically reduce union power. So, is there any hope? Well, there are a lot of people out there who think the answer is yes. And the reason is that they're believers in what I call reform unionism. And what these people believe, and there are lots of them, they think that with enlightenment and enough pressure, the unions can be brought on board. And the problem with it is, it's completely unfounded. Right? If you understand the nature of union organization and union interests and how union leaders' incentives are structured, they will not do this. What I've tried to do in this book is not say things are going to be great in the future. What I'm trying to do is to write a book that allows people to understand the teachers' unions through a ton of facts and through an analysis that explains why the facts are the way they are and what we can expect of the unions and of this education system in the future. Starting in the 1960s, because beginning with Wisconsin in 1959, states started changing their collective bargaining laws for public sector workers. And as they did, those workers started to get organized because those laws were designed to promote unionization and collective bargaining, and they did, successfully. So, between 1960 and 1980, teachers, police officers, firefighters, nurses, sanitation, they all got organized. So what happened here is that we have a system that fundamentally changed. We have a system in which suddenly we have union power. And when there are any threats to the system, there is a powerful group to act against those threats and stabilize the system and protect it. Bottom line is that unions, with the support of their members, will do things that are not good for kids and not good for schools. Okay, they do them because that's how you protect job interests. They don't want to do things that are bad for kids and schools, but they do them because that's what they have to do in order to promote their job interests. That doesn't mean that people like us should say, oh, that's okay, that's cool. It's not cool. If you stand up for kids, then you have to oppose this. In the public sector, in education, and actually, with other occupations as well. The people on the management team are elected officials. They're the ones who have authority over the collective bargaining process. They are often bargaining with their allies, or with people who are beholden to them, or with people who are afraid of them. So collective bargaining, the whole process is biased in favor of union interests. It's documented, and so the end result is they get school boards that are sympathetic to them, on average. That's the way it works. This is a bad system, right? You can't expect that system to work out well for kids and for effective schools. That is the theme, really. Schools get organized by the adults on the basis of interests and concerns that don't have anything to do with kids. So why would you expect schools to be effectively organized? You wouldn't. That's the problem. No one in their right mind would design schools to look the way that they look today. When a job comes up, a senior teacher gets to take that job, even if that teacher is a terrible fit for the school, even if the principal doesn't want that teacher, even if that teacher is lousy in the classroom. What kind of a system is that? The sum of all this is, over the last quarter century, at the local level, we have union power creating ineffective organization for the schools and undermining their capacity to perform. And what we have at higher levels in politics is the politics of blocking, where the unions stand in the way of reform and undermine whatever reforms do pass.